Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hustlers, makers, and content creators, welcome to another Sunday night mobile creator hangout, YouTuber hangout. My name is Dee, and tonight I'm going to be answering your YouTuber questions. So if you have questions about how you can grow your channels, tips, tricks, strategies, all that good stuff, including the best apps to do video editing or to make your thumbnails, I've got you covered. If you do have a question, have a look at the pinned comment in the chat or down in the description. I've got a link that's going to pop open a form. Please drop your question in the form to guarantee that I actually see it. And now that the formalities are out of the way, how's everybody doing? I missed you last week. How has the past 2 weeks been for you? Hope you Americans had a great 4th of July weekend. How's everybody doing? Go ahead and sign off and let me know where you're watching from. I'm still in Mexico. In case you guys don't know, I'm still in Mexico. I'm still inside, doing my thing down in Mexico. Pete John's in the house, having to choose between the StreamYard Town Hall and my channel. Man, I appreciate you coming by to hang out. I can't believe I'm streaming at the same time as Town Hall. I didn't think that through very well. I usually watch those as well. Scully's House of Thrillers. How's it going, my man? Mike, how you doing? Insane McLean, how you doing, sir? Sammy Mafet says, did you get any email from me? Nope, I don't think so, but I get an insane amount of emails every day, so there's a good chance that it's lost in the shuffle. If you did send me an email, I'll try to get to it when I can. I'm hundreds and hundreds of emails behind answering them. So, hey, Anna Martin on vacation in Hawaii. How's that? Bet that's nice and beautiful. Art Vandelay, how you doing? Watching from Indiana. Where are you from in Indiana? I used to spend a lot of time there. Spent a lot of time in the Midwest, in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana region. Beanie Draws, how you doing, sir? How you doing? Gulf Coast Grainy, welcome back. Doug, how you doing? J. Rose Interior Design from Tacoma, right on. It's one place I haven't been yet. Let me go over to the questionnaire here, see if any questions have dropped in. We do, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead because this is gonna be a short stream today, so I'm gonna go through and answer these questions as quickly as I can. So if you guys do have a question, for those of you who are just stumbling in, look at the pinned comment or look down in the description to a questionnaire to a form that says ask your question here. First question comes in from Insane McLean. The question is, how did you and Nick, this is a personal question, I guess. How did you and Nick and everybody else know, how did you and Nick and everyone else you know, okay, brain dump to the point that you knew what you wanted your niche to be about? This is literally the only thing holding me back. I know it's a stupid excuse, but I don't know what my calling is yet. Okay, this is a fantastic question. And the question summed up is, how do you choose your niche? How did everyone I know who's successful on the platform, how do you choose your niche? And that's a fantastic question. Curious for the people who are in here, how many people are just, you know you're in the right niche. You know you're in the right lane. You know you're heading in the right direction. If that's you, type in yes. If that's not you, type in no. I'm not 100% sure I'm on the right path, right? I know what I needed to do to get started on YouTube, but now that I find myself 2.5 or 3 years into YouTube, you know, I've definitely been questioning the direction that I'm going in. So here's the thing. Let's talk about that. Find your niche. So Insane McLean, you think that not having a niche is holding you back. Here's a great way to figure out what to make videos about, right? So there's 2 parts to this. There's part 1, finding something that you want to make videos about. And part 2, if you're trying to do this and make money at it, you have to find a way to monetize that thing. So the first thing would be, what do you do in your life? What hobbies do you have? What interests do you have? What are you knowledgeable about? Where you could just sit down and talk about that subject with no preparation for hours on end. Everybody's got something like that. Tell me what that is in the chat. Hey, Jay-Z, well, what is it? So what do you guys do? Like, everybody's into something, right? I could sit down and talk about Star Wars, sci-fi movies, music, traveling, cosplay. I could sit down and talk about so many different topics without preparation. I could give a presentation on a lot of topics with no preparation whatsoever, and I would be fine. I could sit and talk for hours in a coffee shop about music or about traveling, right? So sign off in the chat. Let me know what that is. I'm gonna see what some of you guys are doing here. Hey, One of Mobile Gaming. Cosplay, I'm in. Not the kind of cosplay you're thinking about, Tommy. Gulf Coast Granny can talk about parenting and gardening and crochet. Debbie's DIY Craft can talk about crafting, right? South Georgia Basin can talk about bass fishing. Annie can talk about real estate, right? So everybody's got something that they're knowledgeable about, they're super passionate about. And these don't have to be like, I'm super passionate and I'm knowledgeable. Just one or the other. Are you knowledgeable about something, like crazy knowledgeable? Or you're super passionate about something? Or you just like doing it, right? So for me, right, so the first thing is finding out what that thing is. And I have a 20-year background in video production, right? I'm a video editor by trade. I know my way around graphics and Photoshop and video editors and cameras and all of that. And I love tinkering with phones and I love figuring things out. So I'm like, okay, there's a huge backstory to how I ended up doing the mobile thing. But once I did figure out the mobile aspect of it, I thought that, okay, doing the mobile side of helping mobile content creators plays really well with my brother's channel, who focuses mostly on desktop YouTubers. So I thought that'd be great to kind of, we could throw stuff back and forth. So that was part of my decision. But then once you come up with that thing, you have to find a way to monetize the thing. And that's where it can get tricky. Like if you are really passionate or one of your hobbies is something incredibly obscure and it's really difficult to monetize, but your goal is to be a full-time YouTuber and make money with this, but it's really difficult to monetize because it's really obscure, then you might have a difficult time doing that. So you might have to think about other things that you're interested in. LA Meth Witch, weed edible cooking. There's probably plenty of opportunity for you now that things are being legalized around the world. Hold on. I love phones also. Yeah, right. I just love tinkering with this stuff. So find out what you're into. Something you can just talk about. So Insane McLean, if you and I met at a coffee shop and we're just shooting it like people do, and we just started talking, where would the conversation lead? And I ask you about yourself, what will we talk about? And whatever that thing is that you could just talk to me until I fell asleep, make videos about that thing. The trick is finding out how to monetize it. That's where it gets tricky. So if you're lost, you're trying to figure out what your niche is, I think that's a great place to start. I think if you're trying to create a YouTube channel based on chasing something that you think is just going to be a payoff, like, hey, I'm not really interested in Pokemon cards, but I see all these other people succeeding when they're making videos about Pokemon cards, so I'm going to make videos about Pokemon cards. I think if you're going that way, I think you might be in for a disappointment because you need to be into something to the point where you can push through the times where it gets difficult, where you can push through the burnout if you can, where you can be brought up on a stage to talk about it, where you can be a presenter, where you can speak at events and that sort of thing, if that's something that you're interested to do. So think about that thing, whatever that is. And that's what I would start making videos about. I don't know. What are you making videos about now? Let me look at your channel. Insane McLean. Let's see what you're doing here. Insane McLean. Let me find your channel. So I think I've looked at your channel before, but I don't. Nothing to review yet. Okay, so no, I didn't. It sounds familiar. Nothing to review here yet, just a viewer. Okay. So think it through that way. That's how I would approach it. I wouldn't chase something just for trends. I wouldn't chase something because you think that that's going to be popular. Everybody's into something. If you're into building model train kits and that just, you go to sleep at night just thinking about model train kits, make a YouTube channel about not only about just model train kits, talk about your collection, talk about how people can get started. I find the easiest way to build a channel is to help people do what it is that you're doing, right? So if my YouTube channel was based around watch me make content with my phone, watch me edit a video with my phone, watch me make thumbnails with my phone, watch me use this app, watch me use that app. Some people might be interested in that, but I wouldn't have grown my channel very fast, or maybe not even at all. But as soon as I change that around, let me help you make a thumbnail. Let me teach you to be an editor on your phone. Let me help you choose the right apps so you can do what I'm doing with your niche, right? So once you figure out what that thing is, help people who are also interested in the thing that you're in. And you don't have to be an expert. You just have to be more knowledgeable than the people that you're teaching, right? You're just one step ahead or two steps ahead of the people that you're trying to teach to do the thing that you're doing. What if you are passionate about more than one thing? How do you choose? Do 2 channels? Pick one first. Pick one first. And there's different ways to look at this. So I love a lot of things. I love traveling. I love cosplay. I love Star Wars. I love sci-fi. I love music. I love technology. I love all of this stuff. I love construction. I watch construction videos on YouTube to learn how to do stuff. My interests are all over the place, just like everybody else. But you need to pick one and run with it. Pick one. Pick the thing that you're just the most fired up about. Because when you're laying at bed at night thinking about something, it's usually not all of those things floating around. There's usually a focus somewhere. Or if you find yourself consistently searching for particular types of videos, like, hey, I'm into crochet and I'm always thinking about crochet. I'm always going to the hobby store to look at yarn. I'm always searching for different crochet videos. Well, maybe you should make a crochet channel, right? So that's a good way to kind of weed out the noise and find a focus. But I wouldn't make 2 channels until you've learned how to master one channel, because you're going to spread yourself too thin, right? If you can't handle 2 channels if you can't handle one channel first. Some people are doing lucky with 2 channels. Yeah, some people do lucky with 2 channels. I just don't advise it when you're getting started if you don't know what direction you're going to go in. I always recommend, if you're going to do 2 channels or multiple channels, master one channel first, because you have to understand, you have to learn how to get people to respond to your thumbnails, how to get people to respond to your titles, how to get people to watch your videos longer, how to build a content library that plays well with each other. Like, you've got to learn how to do all of these things in order to totally optimize your channel so you're making content that people want to watch. If you haven't learned how to do that yet, then making 2 channels or 3 channels, you're really spreading yourself too thin there. Master one, so then you learn what's necessary. So when you do start the second channel, you can jumpstart that second channel and move a lot faster. All right. I know that was a really long answer, but it's worthy of a long answer. Okay, next question. From Action Kid 2021 for president. Can you get me more subscribers, please? No, I cannot get you more subscribers. I cannot just give you more subscribers, but I can tell you what to do that can help you. You can go to, hey, G. Michael Jr., you can go to Google and type in YouTube Creator Academy. YouTube Creator Academy, 3 words. It's going to take you to a website that is owned by YouTube. It's owned by Google. It's owned by YouTube. It is the instruction manual for YouTube. YouTube has put together a series of mini courses where they teach you how YouTube works. So you're starting YouTube right now and you don't have a good foundation and understanding of what YouTube actually expects out of you. You don't understand how things work together to actually help your channel grow. So go to Google, type in YouTube Creator Academy. It's totally free. It costs you nothing. There's no scams. There's no upsells. It's created by YouTube. And they teach you the ins and outs of YouTube. So that's the first place you need to start. I wish I could give everybody subscribers. I wish I could go, hey, you know what? Here's 10,000 subscribers. But it doesn't work that way. You have to earn them, and you earn them by gaining knowledge, by understanding what YouTube expects out of us as a creator. So start with the YouTube Creator Academy. And that goes for everyone in the chat who's not yet started in the Creator Academy, or if you haven't finished the Creator Academy, that's a fantastic place to start to give you a better idea of what's going on the platform. Gulf Coast Granny, your 2-year anniversary for what? What is your 2-year anniversary on YouTube? Congratulations, early congratulations. Hey, Larcia, how you doing? That was a great answer. Thank you. I appreciate that. You met me at the crossroads. That's great, man. Hey, Reed's Art of Adventure. How you doing? Okay, next question. By the way, for those of you who are just joining, have a look at the pinned comment in the chat or look down in the description. I've got a link. So if you have a question, click that link. It's going to open up a Google Forms. You can ask your question in there to guarantee that I'm going to see it, because when I'm looking at the camera like this and I'm reading questions out of the form, I don't see what's happening in the chat. So I might miss your questions there. Next question comes from the Nurse and Nerd. How you doing, Nurse and Nerd? I have a Camlink OBS lighting and a Sony ZV-1. That's what I'm streaming with right now. Fantastic camera. Yet my live streaming quality is horrible and not as crisp as yours and others. I am frustrated and have such pricey equipment and Motorola quality. Okay, so I believe I've looked at your channel before. I'm just going to do a quick glance to make sure it's who I think I'm. Yep, that's you guys. Okay, so this is something helping you get your camera set up is that's more than I can actually go through with the live stream, but there's a couple of variables here that could be causing you to have a poor quality that's uploading. So if you want to reach out to me privately, you can send me an email, which is going to be the slowest, or you can follow me on Twitter. Follow me there. I'll follow you back, and then we can communicate through DM on Twitter. And because I need a little bit more information, and I can help steer you in the right direction. I'm streaming right now with the Sony ZV-1. So it could be something that's set in your camera. It could be your upload speed, or it could be the settings in whatever streaming system that you're streaming with. So let's connect on Twitter, and I'm happy to steer you in the right direction and make sure that your quality gets up to par, because it's really easy to do. There's just a couple of things we need to look at there. Happy to help. Next question here is from Molly M. Molly M asked the question, what should I focus on when I make videos? Okay, that's a simple question, but it's very important. You should focus on communicating with the viewer, giving the viewer what they clicked for, and focus on getting them to watch your video as long as possible. That's what you focus on. Don't focus on views right now. Don't focus on subscribers right now. Don't focus on likes and comments right now. Focus 100% of your energy on learning how to connect with your viewers, learning how to get them to watch your videos as long as possible. Now, YouTube gives us great data to help us figure out how long they're actually watching our videos. You can get this data inside the YT Studio app, or you can get this data inside of the YT or this YouTube Studio on the desktop version. And do I have my phone? Of course, I don't have my phone here. What you want to look at if you're using the app is your they call it audience retention. You can look at your audience retention report, and it's going to give you a graph that's probably going to slope downward, and that's going to tell you where people are losing interest with your video. Now, if you look at the same graph inside of YouTube Studio on desktop, you can play the video at the exact same time, watch the little needle go by, and you can see when people are leaving, and you can see what you're doing in the video to make them leave. So focus on getting people to watch your videos longer. I would say, and it can be easier said than done, but I would say at bare minimum, focus on getting people to watch 50% of your video. Now, that's not always easy. Sometimes I don't do that myself, but that should be a goal. Keep tweaking, keep learning how to communicate, keep learning how to edit to make your videos move along smoother until you're reaching around the 50% mark. And then once you get to 50%, aim for 55, aim for 60. The longer you can get them to watch, the better off you're going to be. You're never going to get them to watch 100%, but try to get them to watch at least to 50%. And once you do that consistently, you might see things start to change on you might see things start to change on your channel if you also have a thumbnail that has a good click-through rate performance. Just one or two videos isn't going to make a big difference, but if you're doing this consistently across multiple videos, that's where the needle starts to move on your channel a little bit. You crack me up. I'm glad I make somebody laugh. Beanie says, audience retention is my mortal enemy. Yeah, the thing about the audience retention is, like, sometimes you think you make a great video and you edit and you study the other videos and you think, I'm doing a really good job. For sure they're going to watch this one until at least 50%. And then you open it up and you look at it and it's like 38%. You're just like, what? What happens? Stacy Morgan in the house. How's it going, man? Where can I get content for a niche channel? Example, sports videos. All right, so this is tricky. So anytime you are dealing with content that you do not have a license for, right? Sports videos, you are always running the risk of a copyright claim, which means that if your channel's monetized, they'll take any revenue from that video, or a copyright strike, which means they are going to remove that video from YouTube. If you get 3 copyright strikes within a 90-day period, YouTube will terminate your channel. It's gone. It's never coming back. This is the thing with sports content. It's very, very risky. Now, you see some channels doing it. Some channels are getting away with it. All I'm going to say is this. I can't tell you exactly how to get away with it, because some people get hit, some people don't get hit. A lot of it depends on the games that you're covering. It depends on, are you covering basketball, hockey, football, boxing, so on and so forth. I would say this, move forward cautiously, because as far as I know, there's no legal way for YouTubers to get their hands on that content without risk of at least a copyright claim, unfortunately. Let me see here. Hey, Linda Lacey, how you doing? My audience retention tells me that 90% of the 90% of the people hate my voice, and to be honest, I'm one of them. Sometimes your voice will make someone click off, which always sucks. But here's the thing, Beanie. Oh, first of all, I don't think your voice sucks, but if you're looking at your data and you can tell that the majority of people don't like your voice, then I would not put voice in videos. Right? This is why we have data. We have to learn from that data, even if we don't like what the data tells us. Facts, not feelings, right? Scully says, time for me to go get ready for my live production of Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. Man, I follow Cheech and Chong on TikTok. Those guys are still around. They've got a TikTok account. Hey, Pete, welcome back, man. Hey, Brooklyn Loves Slots, how you doing? Alan Osborne, how you doing, sir? I'm missing something here. I'm moving backwards here. Stacy says, I wish somebody could tell me what niche I'm in. I don't know what niche I don't know what niche I belong to. I'm a mystery. Well, Stacy, you know, I believe you and I have talked about this before. You're doing the whole wall of YouTube thing. You're not really in a niche. You're more of just, you've got a community website. You're congratulating other YouTubers and other community members, and you're putting them on the wall. That's not really a niche, right? That's just kind of it's a community channel where you're just interacting with other people within the community. This is why your channel is going to grow slower, because what you're currently doing is not necessarily an interest to people beyond YouTube. Right? So you obviously have skills, right? You can build those YouTube plaques. You can build other things. You're a creative person. If you want to grow your channel and appeal to masses, to lots of people, and that's where the growth is at, right? You have to think of things that you can build that will appeal to everyone, or at least a larger group of people. What you're doing right now is appealing to a certain group of YouTubers only, and that's going to cap your growth potential. So let's just say theoretically, instead of making the YouTube button, which only YouTubers care about, right? A small section of YouTubers are going to care about that. If you took those same skills and you started making metal sculptures of trending topics, like for example, Loki, who's been watching Loki? We've been watching Loki. I think it's a really fun show. But what if you started making, because I know you're working with metal and that sort of thing, and I'm just spitballing here. You know, I don't know what you're into, but let's just say the latest Loki show came out and they introduced a new character. Well, you could just make Loki. Say you made Loki out of metal, out of spare parts, out of bicycle chains and that sort of thing. And you titled the video as like, I made Loki out of bicycle chains. And you had a really cool thumbnail. And then when the video started, you didn't do a lot of talking. You just got right into it. And you just showed the process of making it. Maybe it was in fast forward. You know, then you're going to appeal to a much larger audience, right? So right now, I don't really think you have a niche. You have a channel that focuses on community. So it's up to you to do with that. Do with that info as you will. Do with that info as you will. Savage Turtle, welcome back.
Welcome to the Niminati.
I need to welcome back to the Illuminati. Savvy Turtle, great to have you back. Hope you're doing well. Construction Cronies, how you doing? Nice to see you in here. Or yeah, make a Loki helmet. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to think through, make the Loki helmet with the little horns coming out. Like you could do that for all sorts of shows, right? You could like keep track of, okay, well, here's Disney, and I know they've got all these different shows coming. They got these, all this new Star Wars stuff coming. You could make stuff for that before it comes out. So as soon as it comes out, you could drop those videos, and it's going to take a while to get the ball rolling on that sort of a channel, but the opportunity is out there. I'm surprised by how short the Loki series is. It only 5 episodes? Oh, no way. Was that the last one? I thought there was at least 8. But that's disappointing. I didn't know that. Loki, yes. I love it. Why is YouTube removing my views and subscribers and my comments? So YouTube, a couple reasons, but YouTube does something called purging where they remove spam accounts and bot accounts. And when that happens, you lose views, you lose subscribers, and you lose comments. So if you have a bunch of spammers or bots, or maybe you've done a lot of sub for sub in the past trying to grow your channel, and YouTube realizes that those are just bogus accounts, they're going to come back and clean all that stuff out eventually. So that's what's happening. Yes, I love Loki. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Savvy.
Super chat.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the super sticker. Hope you're doing well, man.
Sure thing.
Whoa. So, Savvy, did you just speak to me? Interesting. So I didn't know this. So I've never had this happen before. Savvy, are you doing something here? I just heard, so I said, thanks, Savvy. And I just heard a sure thing in my ears. Did you do that? I've never experienced that before. Linda Lacey says, I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona, visiting my mom finally. 110 daily. You live in Los Angeles. Yeah, Arizona's brutal. I've got family in Arizona as well. But yeah, Scottsdale, it's a nice part of Arizona. Hey, Vanker Gotham, how you doing? Nice to see you. Ocean Gamer, how you doing? I'm going back here looking through, see if there's any questions that I missed. South Georgia Basin.
Super chat.
Thank you so much for the super chat. So your advice is helping me grow. I'm still small, but my subscribers are watching and they keep coming back. Thanks for your good free advice. Hey, I'm happy to help. Looking forward to seeing what you're doing with your channel. You heard it too? Okay, it wasn't me. All right, somebody's playing with me. So it wasn't me. I've never heard that before. That wasn't you, Savvy? Come on, Savvy, you're playing with me. No, I don't think so. We're going to try this again. So I hit super chat.
Super chat.
And then I hit Savvy's thing here, super sticker. And I clicked off. How weird. So I wasn't the only one that heard that. How weird. That's never happened before. That was not your Siri on your phone. No. No, I've got, she's turned off on everything. I don't know how that came into my stream. I don't use her. I don't have any. Yeah. How bizarre. I'm glad you guys heard that too. Otherwise I would think that I was going a little bit crazy. Oh, you know what? It might've been my iPad. Let me try it again. Siri. Hey, Siri. Hi, Siri.
Hello, D.
It's Siri on my iPad. Sorry, guys. Savvy, I thought that was you, man. I thought the timing was impeccable on that. So, yeah, I have her turned off everywhere except for my iPad. That's hilarious. You have Savvy on the brain. Tap the shell, man. You got it. You heard it too. Yeah, so it was my iPad. I usually have her turned off. I was experimenting with something the other day and I just forgot to turn her back off. That's funny. Yeah, she said sure thing. That's the weirdest thing. Oh well. That's some funny stuff. Okay, I got to move on to the questions here. Next question from the forum down below from Molly M. Why can I not customize a thumbnail on the YouTube Studio app? Okay, well, there could be a couple things involved here. If you can't make custom thumbnails in general, it might be because you have not verified your channel. The first thing you need to do is go to youtube.com/verify. It's a free thing. YouTube is just going to send you a text message, or a robot's going to call you to verify that you are a real person. Nobody, Tom isn't going to call you to ask you what's up. It's all automated. Once you do that, then you can make custom thumbnails, then you can live stream. And there's some other perks involved with that too. If you're talking about why you can't actually build it inside the YT Studio app, you're going to have to use a different app for that. You can use Buzzart, you can use Snapseed, you can use PixArt, you can use Pixel Lab. I've got several videos on how to make thumbnails with different apps, but you cannot build a thumbnail inside the YT Studio app. Next question comes from South Georgia Basin. What is considered a good click-through rate? Okay, great question. YouTube says, and this is a really broad statement when they say this, but YouTube says the average click-through rate is between 2% and 10%. Right? Now, this is a very broad statement for a reason. What they don't tell you when they mention this is click-through rates can change based on your traffic sources, and not all click-through rates are the same for different niches. I don't know, can you guys hear the dogs? I got dogs next door. So if you're getting traffic from search, which means people are going to YouTube and they're searching for something, your click-through rate might be drastically different with search-based traffic than if you end up on the homepage of YouTube, which is browse traffic, or if you're getting suggested traffic as a watch next video, right? For example, that could give a different click-through rate as well. Or the click-through rate in your niche might be just generally low across the board or unusually high across the board. So instead of thinking what's a good click-through rate, what I would say is this: try to do better with each one. So if you are on average getting a 5% click-through rate, right? Just on average, you upload the video and you come back after a week. You don't want to look at it in like 24 hours and, freak out over that. Let it stay up for about a week, come back and look at it and see what the click-through rate is. If it's at 5%, say, okay, well, I'm going to start playing with this and see if I can't get it up to 7%. And then try to move it up to 7%. Change things around, change colors, change the style, try to move it to 8%, right? Just try to do a little bit better than what you're currently doing instead of trying to compare yourself against what YouTube says is a good click-through rate. There's other things involved too, which are impressions. Now that whole data set is called impressions click-through rate. Impressions means how many people actually saw the thumbnail. They only saw it. The click-through rate is what percentage of those people saw it and clicked on it. So what happens is when you have a video, this doesn't always happen, but this is usually the case. When you have a video that grows in views, so if you have 100 views and your click-through rate is 20%, that doesn't mean a whole lot. But if you've got 100,000 views and you've got a 20% click-through rate, that's really good. Because if you got 100,000 views, that means your impressions, the people who actually saw the thumbnail, is probably in the millions, right? But something happens. As your video grows, in most cases, so you get up 100 views, 1,000 views, 5,000 views, and it gets more and more and more, 50,000 views, 100,000 views, it's perfectly normal for as your views are going up, your click-through rate comes down because more people, more impressions are happening, right? In order to get those views, you got to have more impressions, which is going to lower your click-through rate in most cases. So what's a good click-through rate? It's not an easy answer. YouTube gives a very broad answer. So my answer to you is just try to be better than the ones that you made before. Figure out what your average is and try to be a little bit better. And then once you have that baseline, try to become a little bit better. Christina Smallhorn in the house. I got the impression that impressions meant how many people I impressed. Well, in your case, Christina, that's exactly the case. And it's pretty much everybody. You impress everyone. So for Christina, it's like impressions and it just says all the impressions. Because CTR and impressions go hand in hand. Yeah, exactly. And this is one of the things where, I hate to knock the wind out of someone's sails, but you see people who are just getting started and they'll be on Facebook or on Reddit and they'll be like, look at my click-through rate. It's 28%. You're like, how many views do you have? And they're like, 50. And I hate to be the person to say, I mean, that's better than 2%, but when you got 50 views or you got 100 views, that really doesn't mean a whole lot at that stage because you don't have a lot of impressions. So yes, they play hand in hand on that one. All right, next question comes from Henry. The question is, how do you get motivation for uploading things, even though you're passionate about it, but still pulling back on uploading? All right, well, this is a great question because I have not been very consistent since the whole world shut down on my channel. I just haven't been feeling it. I think Christina and we've talked about this. The world shut down and I just haven't been feeling YouTube a whole lot since that happened. And I've struggled to upload myself. You've probably seen that on my channel. My views have suffered for it. My overall channel growth has slowed down because of it. But you know what? I don't look at it as motivation. I look at it more as you have to discipline yourself to do it. So the videos that I did put up during that time, nothing motivated me to do it. I just had to do it. I had obligations I had to meet. Like sponsored videos, for example. Like I'm way behind on my sponsored videos. And this week I actually have to make some. I don't want to make them. I have to make them. I have to sit down and force myself to go through it to make them, even though I'm not feeling it. So instead of thinking in terms of motivation, think in terms of just, first of all, if you said you're passionate about it, so you're into the channel to begin with, but if you're just burned out, and you don't have those obligations, like, you're working with brands and you've got sponsors and that sort of thing, take a break. Take a break, recharge your batteries, go do something else that's creative. YouTube will be here when you get back. But if you do have those obligations, you're going to have to figure out a way to just power through it. And that's where discipline comes in. It's pushing yourself through when you don't want to do it. And it's tough. And I struggle with that myself. Good morning, Serenity Journey. I have 100% claims on my channel, but that's normal as I did it to myself. And yes, keep your supers regardless as long as your account is good standing. Yep. Hey, TMAD TV. I don't know if it's Timad TV. How's it going? Let's see. Next question is, is it Porta Latin or Porta Latin? I apologize for not saying that correctly. Porta Latin. That's how I would say it. I don't know. Let's see. The question is, do you advise live streaming on a new channel? I've heard it can hurt your analytics. I don't think live streaming can hurt your channel as long as your live streaming is the same type of content or similar to the content that you're making on your channel. For example, all of the videos on my channel are helpful to YouTubers or mobile content creators or live streamers, right? That's what my channel is about. My live streams are also to help mobile creators, live streamers, and YouTubers. That's what my channel is about. Where I would make a mistake is if my live streams were about, watch me cook something. Hey, let me show you how to cook pasta. And I just set up my camera in the kitchen and I do cooking recipes for my live streams. That would be terrible for my channel. That would be absolutely terrible. You don't want to do that. But if your live streams are similar to the content that you're making, I think you'll be perfectly fine with that, as long as your audience responds to it. What you want to pay attention to. Now, you have a new channel. That means not a lot of people are going to show up, and that's fine. I strongly support just getting started live streaming however you can, as early as you can, because you have to learn how to be comfortable in front of the camera. You have to learn how to communicate. You have to learn all of the tech, and you're going to have tech problems. Tech problems happen when you're live, and you have to learn all of that stuff. So learning how to do that when you're smaller, when you don't have a lot of viewers, it makes it a lot easier as your channel grows and you become better at live streaming. So when you do hold an audience and you do have a lot of people showing up, then it's a lot easier. And in terms of hurting your channel, look, if people are showing up and people like what you're doing, it's not going to hurt your channel. At the end of the day, if you are making videos or you're making live streams that are similar and an audience is responding in a positive manner to that content, you're going to be okay. Next question is from Galaxy AMC05. Question is, on my channel, I do gaming and animations and art things. Any tips? Yes, pick one. You're doing gaming, animations, and other art things. The animations and art things might play well together depending on the type of animations that you're doing. But what you're doing right now is you're making your audience choose between one or the other. Let's say I found your channel through a gaming video. And I'm like, wow, I really like this gaming. This gaming video is awesome. I'm going to go subscribe to their channel. I subscribed to your channel because I love your gaming videos. Then you uploaded a video on how to do animation or how to do art. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not interested in this. I might give you a pass on 1 or 2 videos. And then you upload a gaming channel or a gaming video, and then you upload a couple more art videos. I'm like, whoa. I didn't sign up for this. I'm interested in your gaming videos. I don't care about your art content. What you're doing is you're making your audience choose between your content. You don't want to do that. So if you want to do art, put art on another channel. If you want to game, put gaming on its own channel because those don't mix. Now, if you have a gaming channel and you want to toss a couple of videos in there where you're doing art about the games that you play, maybe you're speed drawing or doing some sort of animation of characters in the game that you play during a live stream or something, then your audience might actually appreciate that. But as is, you're doing different things and you're cramming them all into one channel and it's going to slow your growth. So separate those things and focus. Hope that answered your question here. Ball Python Love says, I go live every night for 2 hours and get an easy 30 plus hours of watch time. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you said that because when people are trying to get into the partner program and they're like, how do I get 4,000 hours of watch time? By live streaming. Go live. Even if only 2 or 3 people show up, if one person shows up, if you're in there for an hour or 2, those are watch hours. That all counts. You're going to get a lot faster watch hours through live streaming than you are through videos if you're just starting out and you're not getting a lot of views on your videos. Tommy says, in my space, it seems people who watch live streams versus pre-recorded are different. Yeah, there are. I mean, there are tons of people who do not like live streams. They do not hang out on live streams. Some people only want to consume pre-recorded videos. Some people love hanging out on live streams. You'll find, especially in the YouTube education space, and Tommy, you've probably seen this too in the reseller space, is that you find out early on who loves live streaming because they kind of bounce around from one live stream to another because they really enjoy it. They love the live community, they love what's going on live, and they might not necessarily consume pre-recorded videos.
Super chat.
Gulf Coast Granny dropping a super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Says, D, can you talk a minute or 3 about strategies to build a community? Savage Turtle, I got you too, man. I'll get to you right here in a second after I get Gulf Coast Granny. Okay, let's talk about strategies for community building. Community building starts with having a niche, having a channel that's a destination for a particular group of people. In your case, you're doing gardening. Right? So what's going to happen over time on your channel is you're going to attract people who are interested in gardening. So first thing is to have a niche, to have a direction, to have a North Star, or to have a channel that is a destination for something. It could be a gaming channel, a gardening channel, a food channel, whatever it is, an art channel, right? This is why you don't want to mix gaming and, rebuilding your transmission in your car. 2 totally different groups of people, right? So have your niche first and foremost. Secondly, answer every single comment while you can. You will get to the point, if you keep doing YouTube, you will eventually get to the point where it becomes impossible to answer every comment. So while you can, answer every single comment and don't just say thanks. Don't just give them a thumbs up. Go in there and say, hey, thanks for watching the video. What was your favorite part? Or ask questions, right? What was your favorite takeaway of the video? Or, hey, thanks. Are you a gardener yourself? What do you like to grow? Where are you at in the world, right? Ask them questions. Most people will come back and engage with you again. So niche, answer your comments, every single one of them as much as you can, and answer them and answer them in a human way. These are people who have taken time out of their day to ask you a question or leave a comment, something thoughtful. Give that back to them. What I like to do is I give back what they give me. So somebody just says thanks, I'll usually do thanks. Thanks. But if somebody actually leaves a comment, I try to leave, well, it's harder these days, but when I still could, I would try to leave a more thoughtful comment. and people will come back, and you get to know people that way. And since you've started doing lives, going live is a fantastic way to start building community, because people get to see you when you're unedited. When you're live, there isn't an edit button. There's no redos. There's no, well, let me start over. It's what you see is what you get, warts and all, mistakes and all. You see it all. And when people see that you're human, and they don't see just the edited version of you in a video, and they see that you're human, they see that you make mistakes, they see your quirks, they really get a sense for your humor. They see that maybe you, like for me, I trip over my words when I'm live. You'll never see me trip over my words in an actual video, but live, I trip over my words all the time. So people, oh, that's, you know, he's like me, right? So that's the first step. So those are the three things that I would focus on. You've got your niche. Make sure you answer every comment thoughtfully, and keep going live and build those relationships while you're live. Those are three things that I recommend for you. Savvy Turtle.
Super chat.
Savvy Turtle, my man, thank you for the very generous super chat, man. I appreciate that. It says, all true, and bonus if you have a D and Tom for extra help. Yeah, Tom is amazing. D's Niminati Brady Bunch, September 20th birthday. Savvy Live, 356 shows later. I'm still going on vacay. Oh, you're on vacation right now. Right on, man. Yeah, Savvy. So Savvy's been on an amazing journey. He's started, Savvy was in a wheelchair, and he's started live streaming, and he's built his entire studio, and he went for a world record. And it's been amazing watching your transition, going from new to all of this to building a really cool looking studio. And it's been cool to watch, man. I'm proud of you. So D is 100% correct. I create art for a game I play, and that's a specific niche for my channel, and the audience appreciates it. There you go. I did a big league stuff. I did a 12-hour live stream in Thanksgiving that had 500 hours of watch. Think about that for a second. If you're trying to get into the partner program, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in a single live stream. And by the way, that's a long live stream, 500 hours of watch time. So yeah, good job there. All right, next question here is from Vutomi Vinbone. It says, how to place ads to make money from YouTube videos. How to place ads to make money from YouTube. I'm not 100% I understand the question. Are you asking me how you can run ads for your YouTube channel to grow your channel? Is that what you're asking me? If that's what you're asking me, the answer is don't do that. You don't want to run ads to grow your channel. And I know you're going to see people doing this on Reddit, and you're going to see people doing this on Facebook. That's not the way to grow. The best way to grow on YouTube, hands down, is to grow organically by understanding what the viewer wants. The only time it's a good idea to run ads is if you've got something to sell, or you're trying to bring attention to something. So let's just say you have a strategy of either you have a digital product to sell, or you want to build an email list for a particular type of person. So you make a video targeting that person, speaking to that person, and then you run ads for that to try to drive people into your email list to get them into your sales funnel. Or you run ads to try to get people to a video that sells your digital product. You never want to run ads just to try to get views or just to try to get subscribers. You're throwing money away. Yes, you will get some views. Yes, you will get subscribers, but that's not the right way to get it. And YouTube's smart enough to know what's going on. Here's what you want to do. You want to get people who are interested in your videos to find you organically, however they're going to do it, through browse traffic, through suggested traffic, through search traffic, through external traffic, through Facebook or wherever else that you're doing it. You want them to find you, and you want them to watch your videos, watch a good length of your videos, and then go watch a second video, go watch a third video. So stop thinking about views and stop thinking about subscribers, and think about, how can I connect better with my audience? How can I communicate better with the target audience that I want to watch my videos? Now, if you do have something to sell, that's totally different. That's where ads come into play. And if you want to clarify this, then I can go a little bit deeper on that. But I just know a lot of people, when they're starting out, they want to buy ads to grow, and just avoid that at all costs. That's not going to help you the way you think it's going to help you. To dive and detect, ask the next question. It says, as a new channel, is it common to hit the subscriber plateaus? Yeah, it happens. There are days it seems though as we're only getting maybe 1 subscriber a day. Is there something we should be concerned about? No. So like if you're just getting started, people don't know about you yet. And I'm going to look at your channel here just so I have a better understanding of what you're doing on your channel and how far along you are. Hold on here. So you have, okay, so you just started uploading 4 months ago. And you're actually getting a decent amount of views, which is really cool. So you're heading in the right direction. But here's what happens. Because your channel's new, you don't have the longevity yet. You don't have a lot of your videos yet, or maybe none of your videos yet, that are called evergreen videos, which means that they're just continually being served up to different customers, different viewers on YouTube. Once you have a larger content library, there's a good chance that you're going to have a lot of videos that are going to consistently drive views weeks, months, sometimes even years after you've uploaded them. And those are the types of videos that are going to sustain the views and subscribers coming into your channel. So what you have right now, and you can probably match this with your data, is you'll upload a video, you'll probably see a spike in views, and you'll probably see a small spike in subscribers, even if it's just 1 subscriber, right? And then that video dies off. Right? Because your channel is not really an authority yet in your niche. You don't have a lot of content yet. So that's going to be the pattern that you're going to see for a long time until your channel really starts to get legs with a larger content library and YouTube understands your audience better. And it's great that you're focusing on one particular type of content. It looks like you're doing underwater beach and underwater metal detecting. So it's very important that every video that you put on your channel is about beach or underwater metal detecting. Every single video, every live stream needs to be about that. By doing that, YouTube is eventually going to figure out the right audience to match with your videos. And that's where you're going to start to see more momentum happening. But it takes a while. It takes a while. And you've only been doing this for 4 months. So, upload 50 to 100 more videos and you're going to start to see those spikes get a little bit bigger. If you're getting 1 subscriber coming in, then you're eventually going to start to see that bump up to 5 and eventually up to 10. It's kind of like a snowball rolling downhill. It just takes a lot of very targeted content. But some of these are getting great views. One thing that I will tell you is I'm looking at your channel here. When you have, because you have some videos that have a lot more views than other. Hold on here. I'm just going to double check what I'm looking at here. Yeah, so you've got some videos that are doing way better than others. When you find those videos that are double the views than others, you need to figure out why that is. Was it your thumbnail? Like, hey, when I make this particular type of thumbnail, we get a lot more views. Like, for example, I'm just quickly going, you know what? I'm going to use your channel as an example here. Hold on. Let me pull you up. It's great to look for patterns. And that's one of the first things I do when I look at a channel. So if I come over here to your video, let me make sure I can, yep. And I come over here and I sort by most popular. When I sort by most popular, here's what I see. Right? I'm looking at these top videos. I sorted by most popular. So I see 2.3 thousand views, 1.6 thousand views, 1.3 thousand views, 1.2 thousand views. And then it drops. And then it drops. Then it drops. Then it drops. And it just keeps dropping down. Now, everyone in the chat, and you just saw me scroll through this, everyone in the chat, what do you see in these top 3 or 4? Let's look at these. Here's the top 4 videos. What's different in these top 4 videos that's different in all the other videos? There's one of them that's kind of so-so, but what's different about these that are in all the rest? Now, it could also be that your video performs better because people are watching it longer. 15 minutes long, maybe they're watching 80% of the video or 90% of the video. That's definitely going to tell YouTube, hey, this is a positive signal. Let's show this to more people. I'm going to see some of your answers here. Hold on here. I'm catching up on the chat. Clarity. Yep, that's one thing. Female body. Yep, I noticed that one. Hey, Sion, how you doing? Love from Pakistan. Hey, man, hope you're doing well in Pakistan. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, so this one right here, most popular equals bikini thumbnails. So that the first thing that I noticed, your most popular videos, with the exception of this one, right here, all have the female in them, and you're all of them, you're in a bikini. You've got your dive equipment or your metal detecting equipment, but you're in a bikini. Those videos are dominating. And then the other video that doesn't have you in a bikini, you're still in there, or the female's still there in the video as well. And it's lots of legs. So I would look at this strategy, or I would look at your videos here, and from a strategic standpoint, this is what I would test. I would test making videos of similar topics to the ones that you just made, right? So you've got gold and silver rings found underwater metal detecting, right? So here's another thing. Let me close this. The other thing that you notice, let me close this, is gold and silver. Gold and silver. So your two top videos have to do with gold and silver, and they have a female in a bikini in the shot. So those are two things that I would test moving forward. I would try to replicate the thumbnail, and I would try to replicate the topic to see if I could get those videos using the same techniques to get a lot of views. Because what you're doing down here with the not as many views, those aren't working anywhere near as well as these. It could be the thumbnail, or it could be the topic where your community is really interested in gold and silver. So those are the two things that I would test with your channel. I don't even remember your original question at this point. What was it? Oh yeah, you were talking about you've got some days where it's like one per day. So identifying patterns. So that's one of the way to get the ball rolling. You want to identify what's working on your channel. You have to figure out why it's working on your channel and make more videos that are similar to that. You can get into a lot more deeper strategy, but for a new channel, I think that's a good way to move forward. And I think you've got two things to test: gold and silver, and that particular female in a similar outfit. I would test them separately and test them together. So maybe your next video is about gold and silver, but she's not in the thumbnail. See how that does. If it doesn't do well, change the thumbnail, put her in the thumbnail, see if that gets a spike. Then make another video, similar topic, and put her in the thumbnail to begin with and see if it gets a lift. Those are the things you need to test. And that's going to, if you can identify those things, you're going to build momentum that way. Next question. I think yep. Did I answer that one? Yep. Psycho Cycles asks the next question. Says, how can I make and edit crazy and nice video clips about motorcycles? All right, well, if you don't know how to edit, you got to start somewhere. The best thing you can do is just get your editing software or get your editing app and start learning how to do the basic cuts. Go to YouTube and type in how to edit YouTube videos and just start following along. And you have to learn the basics of editing first. You need to learn how to walk before you can run. So you got to learn the basics. After you understand the basics, then you can get more into advanced editing. So you got to learn how to walk first. So go to YouTube, type in how to edit YouTube videos, and start studying those tutorials until you understand it with your eyes closed, in your sleep. It all makes sense to you. Then move on to some more intermediate editing, and then move on to some more advanced editing, and then study channels that are very successful that are making content about motorcycles, and look at their editing and say, okay, well, this is how they're editing. How can I edit this to be even better? And that's what you go for. But it takes a while. You got to learn how to do it. It's like editing is like anything else. It's a skill you have to learn how to do. Next question comes from Christina Fox, who says, I made a huge mistake by completely switching niches at about 2,300 subs. I've already uploaded too much to start a new channel. Are the drastic drops in subscribers and views killing the algorithm, or is it just like starting a new channel? Well, I don't know where you changed along the way. Let me have a peek at your channel here. Made a huge mistake, she says. I'm just going to do a glance here on your channel. So if I go to videos, give me a second. So it looks like your channel now is to lose weight and get healthy. I'll just go ahead and pull this up. Let me get you pulled up here. Huge. Let me see. So now you're doing lose weight and get healthy, tips, motivation, and support. Okay. So if I go to your videos and I sort by most popular, what have you got here? So your most popular video is a short. So that's good because it's about losing weight. The poo is getting real. I don't even know what that's about. Normalizing obesity. Okay. That's pretty much about losing weight, I guess. Weight loss on keto, however you pronounce it. Grocery haul, let the keto journey begin. Week 8, weigh-in, keto results. So all of this is about weight loss. Did you delete content or did you unlist some content? Because all of your top performing videos have something to do with weight loss except for the poo is getting real. So I'm going through your channel here. Keto Food General. It looks like you may have, I'm going to look for you in the chat. Hold on. Hey, Safety and Patterson, how you doing? I'm going to go. Viper's in there. Where's Viper at? There he is. What's up, people? Man about tech. Viper, how you doing, my man? Hope you're doing well. So, Christina, so tell me, did you unlist videos that you're talking about? Because when I look at your top performing videos, I see videos that are performing and they all have to do with weight loss. So, okay, you made them private. Okay, so here's what I don't know how you were growing before you unlisted those videos. I don't know what type of growth that you've had, but it looks like you've got top performing videos that are doing okay. And the advice that I just gave about finding patterns of things that do well, I would say the exact same thing for you. I don't know how drastic of a change, like if you had 2,300 subscribers in the past and you were teaching them how to paint a house and you're like, here's painting tips, here's painting tutorials on how to paint your house, and then you switch to weight loss. Can you tell me, Christina, what your other videos were about? I don't want to say the wrong thing here. Let me know what your videos were about before. And I just want to make sure I steer you in the right direction. And while you're doing that, I'm going to move on to the next question here. Cooking with Elimo. Is it Elimo? Elmino, cooking with Elmino, my apologies. How do I reach out to some potential subscribers? You don't reach out to potential subscribers. What you do is you come up with a content strategy. You have a niche for your channel. You have a North Star. You need to figure out who you want to make content for. All right. So Christina, for example, we just pulled her channel up. She's making a channel, giving tips and sharing her experience, helping people with weight loss. So by making every single one of her videos targeting a person who wants to lose weight, that's how she's going to get views. That's how she's going to get subscribers. That's how she's going to ultimately build a community, is by targeting with every single video videos that are going to help them lose weight. So you do the exact same thing. You don't reach out to them. You don't ask people to subscribe. You don't spam people. You make videos that people want to watch. You pick a niche. You stay in that niche, you pick a North Star, you continue to head towards that North Star, and you stay true to the channel, and you make content that's going to interest the ideal viewer for your channel. If you make a channel about, maybe you're an artist and you're drawing game characters, well, make sure that you just keep drawing characters from different games, because that's what your community is going to expect, and people who are interested in that sort of thing, they'll find you. This might take a while. Go back and see what Christina said here. Reactions to YouTuber vlogs. Okay, so that's a big step. So what you have, Christina, is you had 2,300 subscribers that were interested in your reactions to YouTubers and vlogs. Now, I'm going to take a guess. If you were to look at, and you can find this in your data, you can look in the YouTube Studio app, you can go into audience. So open up the YT Studio app, open up audience, and it will tell you how many of your subscribers versus non-subscribers are watching your videos. My guess is the majority of the people who are non-subscribers are the ones watching your videos. Okay. That being said, you have all of those old videos that have told YouTube what your channel is about, right? This is where things could get a little bit hairy. You've told YouTube through a catalog of back videos what your channel is about. Now you've changed that. And now you're telling YouTube your channel is about something else. So I'm not going to say that you can't do that, but it could slow your growth a little bit until YouTube figures out what's going on with your channel now. but you are getting some views. You are getting some views. So I would say this. I would say stay totally focused. Lean into the type of content that works, and don't make any more content that doesn't work. If you find that, hey, when I make this type of content, people don't watch it, but when I make this type of content, people watch it. When I talk about keto diets, people love that. But when I talk about my weigh-in, nobody cares about that. Well, then stop doing your weigh-ins. Focus more on the type of content that works, and just keep going. Go at it for a couple of months. See if YouTube will sort things out and see where the chips fall on that. If after a couple months of very targeted videos, if nothing's happening and you're finding that you're just kind of stuck in the mud, come back and talk to me, and then I'll look at things there. I might need to dig around in your data, so we might have to take something, off the live stream, because I can only look at this from a surface view right now. But if you're very focused and you go at it for a couple of months and you're still stuck in the mud, I need to look at a little bit of data. All right, next question. This question comes from Facts Beyond Science. Great name. My all short videos have 0 views. I don't know why. It's because people are not interested in them. Let me double check your. All right, let's see. All right, well, you know what? I'm gonna pull your channel up here, because you're also confusing YouTube. So let's look at this. I'm gonna pull this off. Indonesians love my videos. Yeah, Indonesia's a booming country when it comes to YouTube. All right, so I'm just gonna blow this up for a second. So you have 5 videos. They're all YouTube shorts, and you've basically got 1 viewer, 0 views. And you started uploading 20 hours ago, right? So I don't know what you're expecting, but you uploaded 5 videos in 20 hours, and you're expecting something to happen. So that's not how it works. That's not how things work. Upload like 1 short a day. If you want to make shorts, you're going to make shorts. Upload 1 short a day. But this is where you're killing yourself. This might be Hindi, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but choose a language. You've got English in your title. You've got Hindi in your title. Choose a language and run with it. Don't mix your titles. That's not a good strategy. Let me make sure. I'm just going to zoom in here. Yeah. So 1, you've got to give this time. You've got 5 videos, and you know what? When you've uploaded 100 different days, 1 video per day, focusing on 1 language, and you're making shorts that people are actually interested in, then you can get a better assessment of what's going on with your channel. But right now, I mean, sometimes there's no videos getting picked up into the YouTube short shelf. It's very competitive now. It's very competitive, and you're confusing YouTube. You're telling YouTube, hey, my audience might be for people who speak Hindi. It might be for people who speak English. I don't really know. So YouTube really doesn't know who to put your short in front of. So you're killing yourself by doing both languages. And number 2, it can take months. It can take days. It can take weeks. It can take months before YouTube actually puts your video in the short shelf, if it's going to put it in there at all. So it might not ever put it in there to begin with. So you got to give it time. You can't expect miracles here, because it takes a really long time to build anything. Next question comes from American English with this guy. How long does the new tag on a video last? I believe it's 7 days. A certain time period until you release another video. Thanks. Yeah, last I checked, it was 7 days. I don't think they've changed that. I believe it's still 7 days. If I'm wrong, I'm sure Doug Hewson will call me out. Oh, man. Brooklyn says, is it normal to lose subscribers every day as a new channel? Well, it depends. How did you get your subscribers? If you begged for subscribers, if you ever did sub for sub, if you bought subscribers, if you went to Fiverr to buy subscribers, or you used a service to get subscribers, yeah, then it's normal to lose subscribers, because they're fake and YouTube knows it. You cannot outsmart YouTube. Any short-term gain that you get through like sub for sub or buying subscribers, YouTube figures that out eventually, and they will remove them from your channel. They do purges every so often where they get rid of spam accounts and fake accounts, and they see that. YouTube's a lot smarter than you think. So if you did not get your subscribers organically, which means you earned them, if you went the fast route and did sub for sub or something, then no, it's perfectly normal that you're going to lose them. You'll lose them all eventually. But if you're earning them, right, through organic traffic, through traffic that you are actually building the right way, and they're leaving, it could be because, I don't know, did you change direction? Have you started making different types of videos? Or maybe, and I haven't looked at your channel, but it's Brooklyn Loves Slots. I'm thinking slot machines. So let's say you started videos, let's say your first 10 videos are about slot machines, and people subscribe to your channel because because they like slot machines too. And then you started uploading videos of, here's a clothing haul, or, hey, go shopping with me, or let me show you how to make my favorite Indian recipe. They're like, whoa, I signed up for slot videos. I'm not interested in this stuff. So if you change direction, that could be why too. So there's different variables that can cause different things. I did say slots, yes. Yes, I did. 21 of my viewers are not subscribed. 21% of my viewers are not subscribed. Yeah, so what you're going to see in a lot of situations is the larger your channel gets, the more views and the more subscribers your channel gets, a lot of times you're going to see the non-subscriber number a lot of times that will be greater. It'll be larger than the subscriber count a lot of times. And that's a good thing because that means YouTube is showing your content to more people who are not subscribers, and that's where you're going to see faster growth, right? So just theoretically speaking, if 100% of your views came from subscribers, that means your channel's not growing at all. Not even by 1%, because 100% is coming from subscribers, people who are already there, right? You want people who are not subscribers also watching your video at a larger rate. Hey, Yo-Yogami, how you doing? I should do more uploads. Yeah, I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can. When I've been a bit burnt, I've been burned out. I've gone through some burnout, pushing through it. But hopefully in about 2 months, I'm releasing something that's going to be huge. You're going to see it. You're going to see it all over YouTube here and hopefully about 2 months if everything goes well. 2.5 months, you're going to see something pop up to see what I've been working on when I haven't been uploading videos, and it's to benefit you guys. Carter.
Super chat.
Doing well, man. Thank you for the super chat. How you doing? Savvy, sorry, you push this. Yep, that works. Let's see. What do you say about people asking for promoting channel? Do you mean companies that are trying to get you to pay so they can promote your channel? You want to avoid them. Look, the best way to grow on YouTube is just find a niche, upload consistently, focus on a target audience, and focus on one type of content. So let's just say theoretically you have a channel where, I'm just looking around here. Let's say you have a channel dedicated to credit cards and how people can use credit card perks to get free products and free miles for traveling, right? So every video on your channel could be discussing different perks that people can get through different credit cards. So make sure that all of your videos are about that. So the people who find you are interested in all of that, and your channel is a destination for that, and you become known for that, right? So find a niche, upload consistently, avoid anyone or anything who's trying to give you a shortcut, because it's not going to work out the way you think it's going to. You will get a short-term boost. You'll get, hey, I can give you some subscribers, and you'll get a little boost there. You get a little boost in views that may or may not hurt your channel. But long-term, YouTube is smarter than that, and it's not going to help you. If someone is asking you to promote their channel, just ignore them. Just ignore them. Coffee break for you.
Super chat.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. A water break. I almost choked on it. I wish I could show you what I just did. So I pulled up my water, and I just, like, the whole way I pulled it up, I just spilled probably 20% of my water all over my desk. This is classic. All over my keyboard. Oh my goodness. See, I'm wiping it up with it. It's all wet. Hey, Megan, Thanks for stopping by. You just caught me when I spilled half of my 20% of my water on my desk and my keyboard. Thanks for the super chat, SA. I appreciate it. Savvy says funk time. You know what? I don't have my funk pulled up. I've been kind of cleaning out things and reorganizing, and I'm still cleaning up. I don't have any music prepared for that on this stream. And I just made a mess. Water everywhere. Way to go, G. Way to go. Try to hydrate. That's what happens. You're meant to. Thanks, Beanie. Appreciate that, my man.
Super chat.
Make it. Oh, how do you pronounce your name? Is it make it make or make it Maki? Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you so much. I'm going to hydrate again and try not to spill the water this time. And by the way, today's stream is brought to you by the fine folks over at StreamYard. That's how I'm putting the content or the comments up on the stream. That's how I'm showing everybody's comments and the super chats and putting it on the stream. That's how I'm streaming. Works on mobile devices, iPads, tablets, Mac, desktop, Windows. The easiest way to start live streaming. The Yard, you got it. Water everywhere. Yeah, exactly. I made a mess. I made a mess. Let's see. Honestly, I never bought subs. I'm literally a huge supporter for my gambling community. That's why I'm surprised. Okay, so if you've never bought subscribers, and as long as you've stayed true to your niche, you know, I mean, I don't know. People unsubscribe for lots of different reasons. You know, so I'm just going to assume everything's organic and everything's on the up and up and you stayed on the same niche. People still leave. People lose interest. People change hobbies. People are no longer interested. You may have said something that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I made a political comment on Twitter one time and I lost like 200 followers in a single day. And I was just joking around, but I realized at that point that I was like, okay, I didn't really mean to like, I don't even get political. I just kind of made a joke about it. And yeah, I lost like 200 followers in a single day from just making a single comment, and it was a joke. So people leave for all sorts of reasons. But you know, people also lose interest. People lose interest. People who are into slots, maybe they're not into slots anymore. And drink slowly. Oh, man. I don't know if it's relevant, but something I tried doing was making a separate playlist for off content. Sometimes my content applies for Android phones, even though I'm iOS based. Yeah, that's interesting. You know, there's so many different strategies that you can use to try to get views and get people to watch content. Yeah, that's a good strategy if it works for you. Is 34,984 impressions good for a 6-month-old earbuds channel? Impressions on a single video? I mean, it depends, right? It's hard to take a single number and tell you if it's good or not. I can tell you this. Let's just round up to 35,000. I can tell you this. 35,000 impressions is a heck of a lot better than 3,000 impressions. It's a heck of a lot better than 20,000 impressions. So what I would say to you is this. Is 35,000 impressions good for your channel, right? If you have a single video with 35,000 impressions, how was the videos before that one? And how are your videos now? How do they compare with each other? That's how you compare it. Instead of thinking, how do I fare on YouTube in general? You can't look at it that way because every channel is completely different. Different audiences, different styles, you know, different ways of communication. People watch videos longer on this channel than they do on that channel. People click more on this channel than they do on that channel. So you have to measure your own success against yourself. That's the only way to know if you're doing well or not, right? Like, how did you do last month versus how you're doing this month? How did you do on your last video versus how you did on this video? So on and so forth. Life with a Seer says, I have a cooking channel. I've been doing gardening, but less revenue, but now I upload cooking videos. Okay, yeah, so I would keep those separate unless you're teaching people to cook with the food that you pull out of your garden. That's the only way I would combine those. That's it, right? But if you're not doing that, those are two separate niches. I'm happy to have 300 subscribers in a year and a half. Yeah, growth is growth. Growth is growth. And this is the thing you have to understand about YouTube is that every single channel, every single creator, we're all growing at our own speeds. And I know it can be really difficult to compare ourselves against other channels. Everybody knows somebody like, hey, my friend is growing so much faster than I am. What's going on? Or maybe you don't know them, but you see them from the outside and you go, wow, I have a similar channel to theirs and they're growing 20 times faster than I am. What's going on? You can't do that because we're all truly growing at our own speed. And the thing is, today you have 300 subscribers. Your next video could bump you to 3,000 subscribers, or 10 videos from now could bump you to 30,000 subscribers. Like literally and I know this sounds silly, but anyone who's had success in the platform can chime in and agree with this. Every single one of you in here, you are one video away from blowing your channel up. Everybody, if you keep going, will eventually find that one video that's going to take you from here up to here. Everybody's going to find that one video eventually, as long as you don't quit. The trick is understanding what you did to do that so you can replicate it. You'll eventually do that. You just have to learn how to replicate it and then replicate it again. Brotheros Games, goodbye, sir or kind lady. Have a good evening. Hey, Mr. Camera Junkie, how you doing? Let me see. I'm going to ask someone else here to help me grow. I got tips for you, man. Listen, when I grew up, I drank a ton of milk. We had a lot of milk, ate a lot of protein. It's good for your bones. It really helps with growing. You know, like if you can get a vitamin D deficiency, you're not going to grow up. You might get scurvy. You never know. So, you know, make sure you're well supplemented, take your vitamins, vegetables, drink a lot of milk, get a lot of vitamin D, protein, get nice and strong. You'll have no problems growing. 35,000 impressions, but what's the click-through rate can tell you? Yep, you got it. Flip your key. Good idea, man. I'm actually going to shake out some of the water on that. Good idea. I'm just standing here. I'm just sitting here looking at the little water droplets over the keyboard. Colin Michael, how you doing, sir? Hope you're doing well. Hulk Hogan. Yes, he did. He did. Seriously, you never know. It'll be the video idea you didn't think would be. Yeah, so Megan here, her channel's up. Where are you at, Megan? Guns N' Roses. Let's see. You're just on fire. Every time I look at you, you're just like, look at you. You're almost 400,000. Let me pull your channel up real quick. Hold on. So Megan, who just left this comment, Glue Guns and Roses, right? She's almost got 400,000 subscribers. So I think when she says something, I think it's fair that you should listen to her. And she brings up a very good point here, which is seriously, you never know. It will be the video idea you did not think was going to blow up. And that is so true. Sometimes, more often than not, the videos that you think are going to do bad end up doing really well. In the videos that you think that you just like, oh, I nailed this. I'm so proud of this. I'm going to get at least a 50 or 60% watch time on this. For me, those are the ones that just crash and burn. But the ones where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't even upload this. I'm not real happy with it. Those are the ones that end up doing really well. It's weird, man. I think we're all like, I don't think any of us are really good at identifying the videos that are going to do well and not do well. It's rare to meet someone where you know that you make a great video and it actually ends up being great. I mean, the people who can identify those are the people with like millions and millions of subscribers because they can truly identify that stuff. Everybody else, us mere mortals, we usually can't identify that. My first 1 million video bombed the first 2 weeks, then blew up out of nowhere. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the amazing thing is even though you might bomb out of the gate, and that happens with a lot of my videos because the majority of my traffic comes from search traffic because I make tutorials, right? So I know that I upload a video. I know it's not going to get a lot of views out of the gate, but I know 3 months from now, 6 months from now, if I did my job and I did everything right, I know it's going to be a powerhouse of a video. Hey, Heidi, how you doing? Nice to see you in here. Hope you're doing well. Coffee Funk from Heidi.
Super chat.
I don't have my music queued up, man. I don't have my music, so I'll give you 2.
Super chat.
How about that? Spike says, I doubled my channel in 90 days from 90 to 180 maker guitar niche. Yeah, there you go. See, that's how you measure progress. How are you doing against yourself? That's how you measure. You don't measure it against how am I doing against, in his case, other guitar channels. He can't look at those other channels and say, am I doing well or not? He has to measure it against himself. He grew from 90 to 180, from 90 to 180 in 90 days. That's progress, right? He's on the right track. Did he answer about speed painting? I didn't see any questions about speed painting. Yeah, thanks, Savvy. Heidi says you're sweet. Hey, D, can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? Probably everything. You're probably doing everything wrong. But I'm going to tell you where you can get started. Go to Google right now. I want you to get off of my stream. And here's why. I want you to go over to Google and type this in. YouTube Creator Academy. I'm actually going to pull it up. I'm going to pull this up. YouTube Creator Academy. I'm going to show you what this is going to look like. I'm going to show you what to look for. Because if you're asking what you're doing wrong, then you're probably doing everything wrong. All right, so you're going to type in YouTube Creator Academy, and you're going to look for this top one right here. Then you're going to click on that. It's going to take you to a page that looks like this. You're going to sign in with your email account over here in the top corner. It's totally free. This costs you nothing. It is created by YouTube. This is owned by YouTube. And what this is it is a series of there are mini courses, but there's mini courses as well. So they have all kinds of mini courses in here. For example, you can explore courses like how to get started. And this is the best place to start. And they'll go through and they'll teach you some basics and they'll give you a little test at the end. And then you can move on to another one like content strategy, or you can get some production tips. You can learn about channel optimization, or you can learn about money and business and how to make money on YouTube. You can learn about their policies and their guidelines. But if you don't know what to do, and if you're asking what you're doing wrong, right here is where you need to start. You need to understand the basics. You need to understand the foundation before you move on to anything else. So that's the best advice I can give you if you're asking, what am I doing wrong? Because the answer is probably everything. And I don't mean that in a bad way. That's just real talk. Ball Python Love, he won't read my comments. That was an awesome place to ask your comment because I just noticed it. So, sorry about that. What do you think about uploading meditation videos? Do they work well? There's no easy way to answer that. If you have great meditation videos and you have enough of them, they might work well, but it's also a very fierce, very competitive market. You can't, and I talked about this earlier in the stream, you cannot chase something because you think that that's the way to grow your channel. You can't sit there and say, what type of channel am I going to make? And I'm just using this as an example. I'm not trying to come down on you. I'm just using an example here. You can't just sit here and say, what channel do I make? Oh, those meditation channels are doing well. I'm going to make those. And then what's going to happen is you're going to make a bunch of meditation videos. You're not going to do well because you're not really into meditation videos, and it's not going to do well, and you're going to quit doing it. And you're going to chase the next thing because you think that's the answer. That's not the way to do it. What you need to do, Asir, is you need to think about, what are you into? I mean, if you're into meditation, if meditation is part of your life, then by all means, make meditation videos. But what are you into? Like, what hobbies are you into? If you and I were to meet face to face and we're sitting at a cafe, I'm like, hey man, what are you into? And you start telling me about your life. Like, what could you talk about with me for hours on end with no preparation? And you could just hold my attention for hours about something that you're interested in. It could be a hobby, a passion, could be something you're incredibly knowledgeable about because of your education. Like, whatever that is, that's what you make videos about. That's it. That's what you make videos about. Instead of trying to chase something that you think might be popular, you take your knowledge or your passion or your hobbies or something that you could just talk about for hours and days, and you don't care if the views come because you're just into it anyway. That's what you make your channel about. And you'll figure out how to monetize it along the way. Hey, Larcia, how you doing? Thanks for hanging out. I'm Dee, so I started a gaming channel and I do everything on mobile. Do you have any advice for starting out and what things should I do? You're 16. Well, first of all, congratulations on starting the channel. That's the hardest part. So here's my advice for gaming channels. If you're a gamer, chime in, chime out, just say hello. I don't know. Say you're a gamer. Type in gamer in the chat. Chime in. Well, what is that? My advice would be this. If you're a gaming channel and you want to make a YouTube channel that grows to the point where you can make money, like you could be a gamer YouTuber, if that's your goal, then I've got advice for you. If you just want to do the channel for fun and you don't care if you grow the channel or not, then ignore this advice. But if you want to grow, you're like, hey, I want to be a gamer. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to make money. This is what I'm going to do with my life. Listen up. You need to study the largest gaming channels. You need to study them. And you're going to notice something. They're either great at gaming. It means they dominate the game. They beat everybody. So you need to be either a great gamer or you need to teach people how to play the game so they can become great gamers, or you need to bring something to the table that other people have not brought to the table before. It could be your personality, right? I like to use Dr. Disrespect as an example. He is so over the top. He's so outrageous. He's like a professional wrestler turned gamer. He's just ridiculously over the top. He brought something new to the table. His just larger than life personality. And he's wrapped it up into the perfect branding. His thumbnails are amazing. His gameplay, the way he does everything, he has carved that out for himself and he stood apart from the pack. It takes a lot of work and it took him a long time to get there. If you go look through his history, it took him forever to get to where he is, but he made it. So you're going to have to find something new to bring to the table, or you're going to have to be a gamer that's so good that people can't deny you. People have no choice but to watch you, or you need to teach people how to play the game. Either way it goes, it is a long process. It's going to take you many years, many videos, many gameplay. But if all you're doing, if all the effort that you're going to put in is just watch me play the game, I got news for you. You're not going to make it because that's what everybody else is doing. That's what millions and millions and millions of other gamers are doing. They're just going to watch me play the game, right? So you need to think about how you can stand out from the pack. I don't have the answer to that. That's for you to figure out. If I figured out how to stand out from the pack as a gamer, I'd go do that. But that's for you to figure out. You got to figure out how you can stand out one way or the other. If you can't figure that out, you're going to be lost in the sea of gamers. That's my advice for all the gamers. And I know that's probably not what you wanted to hear, but that's the reality of wanting to be a gamer on Twitch or on YouTube. How important is it to put your face in your thumbnails? Most of the casino channels have faces in your thumbnails, but I haven't showed my face once yet. It depends. Some people have a lot of success with that. Some people have more success without their face. I mean, here's the thing. Faces can help a lot if people know who you are, right? If you're a brand new channel and no one knows who you are, then they don't necessarily understand who you are. So putting your face in the thumbnail doesn't work that well. However, as we saw from the previous beach and underwater metal detecting channel, they have thumbnails that have a female in their top 4 most popular videos in a bikini. Those attract, I think it's partially that. Those attract a lot of views, right? Those videos dominated the channel. So with your audience, I don't know. I don't know if you're a man or you're a woman. I don't know if your picture is good. I don't know if you're photogenic. I don't know if people are going to respond to your picture, right? There's so many variables here. It's not as easy to say, put your picture or don't put your picture. I would say this, try it for a couple of videos, try a couple of different pictures and test it with your audience and see how they respond. If you find that they don't respond positively or if it makes no difference, then it's up to you to keep going with that. But if you find, hey, I put my face and I did a lot better, then keep putting your face. If you're like, I put my face and I did a lot worse, stop putting your face or change the picture. I have a weird shaped head. You know, everybody does. Well, I got a crooked jaw, you know. Faces only do well with certain videos for me. If I make a face, it better be a stupid, exaggerated face. Right? Oh my God. Yeah, that stupid YouTube face, like that. man, I hate to say it, but that usually works for most audiences. But it doesn't work for every topic. Just like Megan said here, like sometimes a face will work. I've changed thumbnails. For some topics, my thumbnails perform better if all I show is a phone and the text. Some topics perform better if I put my face. Some topics perform better if I do the stupid YouTube face. So these are things that you're just going to have to test out with your audience. Savvy. Refuse to do the face is not happening. I hear you, man. Moving backwards. My face repels clicks. So Christina, have you backed off from putting yourself in your thumbnails? Yeah, Tommy, you find it out, man. Let me know. Dee brings milk. Christina brings bread. Savvy brings cheese. Tommy brings 7-Eleven Slurpees. There you go. Great question. You're going to VidSummit this year. COVID permitting. I'm supposed to speak at VidSummit this year. My name will probably go up on the page here shortly, but it's COVID pending because I'm in Mexico. I'm not vaccinated yet. I'm not going to travel unless I am. So yeah, it depends. I'm supposed to speak there, so I don't know. I'm gonna do everything I can to get there, and I'll leave it at that. COVID pending. Depends if I'm talking about the housing crash. They want to see my serious face. Well, there you go. If you can book it, you get it back. So here's the, yeah. So my complication, it's not a complication. It just complicates the travel. I'm not alone. And my girlfriend is not a U.S. citizen. So it complicates our travel. She has a U.S. visa, but the U.S. is being very difficult about who they let into the country right now. And Mexico is supposed to give us a vaccination, but it's been delayed and it's kind of not very well organized down here. And it just keeps getting delayed and getting delayed. So if we can get our vaccination down here, both of our shots, then yes. But if I can't make that happen, it's too complicated for us to actually, for both of us to get into the U.S. And we're not going to do something where like one of us gets the shot and one of us doesn't. So that's kind of the complication. Your dad's an Agua Verde. Oh, awesome. How long has he been down there? Hey, Justin, how you doing, man? Pretend like you have explosive diarrhea and then you're holding it while smiling. Make that face and does well for thumbnails. There you go. Secrets from the pros right there. I'd love to meet your girlfriend. She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. Yeah. What about Thailand? Is it the same? Thailand's a mess. So Thailand was actually, apologies for people who don't want to hear this. I didn't expect for the stream to turn into this, but I'll just briefly talk about it because Nick, my brother's in Thailand. I'm in Mexico. Thailand was one of the best countries that was actually beating the virus for a very long time. Unfortunately, most of Asia, except for Singapore and China, everybody else has taken a severe turn for the worse. So Thailand is actually shutting down again. They're locking cities down again. Infections and deaths are going up. And so Nick's kind of in the same situation I am. He's also scheduled to speak. So if he can get there, he will, but it's, and I think this is true for anybody who's coming into any event right now that's internationally, who's coming in internationally, it's going to be, COVID pending. How did you end up in Mexico? So we were traveling to Mexico when the world shut down. So my home is in Thailand, right? As you know, we were in Mexico when the world shut down and Thailand closed the borders, and Thailand closed the borders for a very long time. They've recently started opening the borders a little bit, but it's incredibly difficult to get in. And because we've been away for so long, we lost our visas. We lost our long stay visas. So now we have to re-enter as just like normal tourists. So we're going to be literally like the last people who get in again. So we've been stuck. When you get your silver play button, it's in Thailand. Nick's got it. So whenever I get back to Thailand, I'll get my silver play button. I didn't feel bold enough to try to bother you, all my friends and actors from Star Trek and Pirates of the Caribbean were around. Have we met? Wait, I did try to bother you, all my friends and actors from Star Trek and Pirates. Have we met? My apologies if we met. I don't recognize your username. I'm terrible with usernames. I'd be upset if I got stuck at SeaWorld. Yeah. Yeah, I think parts of Australia, Doug said. Sydney, I believe, is having problems. Narfield, how you doing? Oh, at Vid Summit. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so yeah, she came in on the last day of Vid Summit in the evening because she flew in. I came a couple weeks early with Nick to visit our mom and some family and stuff like that. So she came in on the last night. So we were at the in the lobby actually eating dinner. I think she was hanging out with us there. So yeah. Yeah, you know what? If I see your face, like if you came on the stream, I'd remember, but the name, I don't remember the actual username. Sydney's under lockdown. Okay, right on. Be safe down there. Don't forget your knockoff play button. You got it. All right, I'm going to the chat here, see if I missed anything. He and you can do virtually on VidSummit. We might. I know both of us, we're going to try to make it. I tell you what, Daryl has brought in some absolute amazing talent this year for VidSummit. And Christina, who's in here, is actually going to be speaking, which I am just super, super happy and excited for her. Where did she go? I'm going backwards in the chat. Where are you at, Christina? Trying to find you moving backwards here. Yeah, right here, Christina Smallhorn. She's going to be speaking, which is amazing. Super, super excited that to see that. Yeah, I'm, like I said, if we can be there, we are going to be there. But, things are shifting right now, again, unfortunately, in a lot of places in the world. So, Justin Brown, what is going on, man? It's a weird thing to say, but I love watching D live. Yeah, well, that's why I have an OnlyFans account. You're my only customer. So thank you, Justin. By the way, here, congratulations. This dude right here just hit 1 million 1 million subscribers. 1 million subscribers, Justin Brown. Can we just get like a congrats? Can everybody in here can just type in can we just do like congrats like this? Just typed in 1 million subscribers. That's insane. Dude, that is insane. I was chatting with Nick last night, Justin. We were talking about various things and your name came up. I think we were talking about, I don't know, sex toys or something. Anyway, your name came up. And we were talking about how incredible it is. Like, it's just insane. 1 million subscribers. That is absolutely insane, dude. Absolutely insane. Congrats. Hey, Mike, how you doing, buddy? That's a cool avatar you got, man. I love that. 1 million. That's just insane. It's insane to think about it. So for my channel size, to think about getting 850,000 more subscribers, that's just it seems like an impossible thing, but I know it's not. It's just a matter of putting in the work and putting in the time and that sort of thing. But it's like looking up at Mount Everest. How am I going to climb that? That's crazy. Segs toy. Yeah. Sex toys. That's Christina, anytime that comes up, then you got a Justin Brown. He's like Beetlejuice when you start talking about that stuff. Poof, there's Justin. It's been insane. Yeah, man. Justin, man, I'm looking forward to hanging out again. Maybe 2022, hopefully. Maybe we'll get this craziness behind us. I don't play with eggs. Justin does. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. And on that note, Justin, again, man, just huge congratulations, dude. That's just incredible. And I want to thank everybody for hanging out during the live stream. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the amazing questions. I will be here, same place, same time next Sunday. And for those of you who are channel members, don't forget, we do our members live stream an hour before I do this live stream, and I post about that on the Facebook group, and I post it on the community feed. So keep your eyes peeled for that. You can join our 1 million live. Hey, listen, dude, send me a link to that. Absolutely. I would love to join in on that. I'd be honored. So yeah, send me a link, man. Send me some info. I'm down. So thank you, everybody. I will see you guys next week. Have an awesome week. Keep crushing those milestones, and I'll see you next weekend. Cheers.